Hi, this is Tracy from Get Creative with Tracy. I'm going to be showing you Project 3 of April's Technique class, which is how to make this One Sheet Wonder mini album. And the inspiration for this one came from paper craft scissors. So they had a fab little mini album on there, which, like I said, is where I got the inspiration for this one. So in your project kit, you will have one sheet of 12 by 12 in, two sheets of 12 by 12 in crumb cake, and you're also going to have 9 sheets of our designer series paper. So just pop the designer series paper to one side, and we're going to start off by making the basis of the album. So taking the first sheet of 12 by 12, you will need your Stampin' trimmer. And you want to score this one at 3 3/4 inches. And then at 4 inches. And then again, you'll want to score it at 7 7/8. And then at 8 1/8. And then turn it around 90 degrees, and you want to score it at 2 1/8. And then at 7 1/4. So obviously for you it's going to be quite hard to see all the different score lines, but I'm just going to go ahead and burnish all of them. It gets a little bit harder when you've got only a small gap between them. Oh. Sometimes I find it easier to push the ends out, and then it makes it easier to go right the way along. But like I said, that's usually when you've just got like a small gap in between. So the next thing that I need to do is where we've got our little channels, if you like, I need to cut down to our horizontal score line from the top and also from the bottom. And this is then going to create our pockets. So just cutting along the score line all the way up. If it makes it easier for you, you can do this on the trimmer, or you can just do it with a pair of scissors, whichever one, again, is your personal preference. And then again just at the top. So this is where I've changed mine a little bit. I actually want to take off 1.5 inches off the bottom of each of these sections. Actually, I just need to check that. I don't think it's 1.5 inches, sorry. No, 1.25 inches. So I'm going to have the longest part of the cardstock against the trimmer just because it makes it much easier. So if I want it to be 1.25 inches, then I'm going to go to 10 3/4. Just make sure that all the flaps are down and then just trim them all off. Then you want to keep all of these sections and just pop them to one side because we're going to be using those to create more pockets. Now at this point in time, this is how the whole album can come together. So if you want to round off the corners like I've done on here, then you can do so. I just used the envelope punch board to do that. I'll keep all of these ones straight just for quickness for the video. I'm just going to add a sticky strip to the edge of each of the flaps. If you want to keep one open so that you've got another pocket, then by all means you can do so. Once you work out the dynamics of this, there's definite room for you to be able to personalise it, make it your own. You could make a number of them because you can have them all different types of ways. You know, you don't have to adhere down all pockets, you can create more pockets. There's a lot of possibilities of variations that you can do with this particular album, which is great. Bit skewy. Okay, so these can then just be adhered down, and if you want to, before you've put on the tape, you could also go around and distress everything, as you can see that I've done with this one. Just gives it a really nice aged look, but again, just for time purposes really, and just so that you don't all get thoroughly bored watching me, I'm just going to pop this one together as it is. It'd be good for you to see differences as well, so you can work out what your personal taste is and which ones that you prefer. Okay, so you can already see that we've now got the basis of our album. So that was really simple. And as you can see, it all kind of fits together, it's all great. So now you're going to be taking your second sheet of 12 by 12 just to create the pockets, the tags that we've got in here. These you can put your photos on, you can put journaling on, you can put little tickets on, all of that type of thing. So to make these, you want to cut them to 3 by 4.5, and you want 5 of those. So I'm going to cut 3-inch strip. By another 3-inch strip. I'm just going to cut that to 4.5 by 4.5. Again, you want to keep these sections, leave those ones. Lost my train of thought then, so 4.5. 4.5, so that's 4 of them so far. We've got a couple of sections left over. So I'm just going to check this one. So I've got it at 6, so I'm going to cut it by 3 again. And then by 4.5. And that gives me the 5. And then I also want one which is 3 inches by 2 7/8. So I'm just going to cut this one to 2 7/8. And again, you can round off the corners if you want to. I'm just going to show you how this goes together. So we have tags for all of the middles. When you first put them in, you will need to wiggle them around a bit, you know, because obviously we've stuck this all down, so you're just manipulating the paper and just letting it know exactly where it wants to be. So you can do that for all three. That one's obviously going to go in there. Now this is where your little strips come in. So you're going to have one little strip to go on the middle pocket, and that's what the smaller section is for. That's going to go into there. I can understand it's a bit difficult to see because this is all crumb cardstock. So I'm just going to show you again on our patterned pieces. So here we've got our 3 by 4.5 inches, and then we've got our 2 by 7/8. And can you just see that? So we've got one of the strips here. Also added one to the back, so that we've got another section that can go in there. And then again another one to the back again. So the only one that hasn't really got one, and that is the front. And I've left the front plain at the moment because I'm not sure about you, but I like to build my albums in and around the photos or the particular projects that I'm going to do or the particular theme. So although it looks fairly plain at the moment because we don't have a lot of embellishments and everything else, that's purely because then I can actually personalise it depending on what I'm going to use it for. So then I'll be adding ribbons and buttons and pearls and all of that type of thing, and also obviously all of my photos. If the album gets much thicker, if there's a lot of things and you find that it doesn't seem to close, at the moment it closes really well, as you can see. But if it doesn't, then you can just add a nice little belly band to go around it. But that really is how you're going to create it. So it's really simple again. Obviously if you've already signed up to the class, you've got all the written measurements and everything else in there as well. For the one sheet wonder, you will find that on my blog at www.getcreativewithtraci.co.uk. You're also able to purchase all of the products, all the Stampin' Up products from there as well. So do stop and buy. If you do want any advice or anything, then do get in contact. I'd be more than happy to help you. But hopefully you've really enjoyed April's class. There was a lot of projects in this one. We made 11 cards, we've made a bag, and we've made a mini album. But I had a lot of fun, really, really a lot of fun, and hopefully you have too. And you'll be joining us in May. So you take care, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks very much. Bye.